like, I never have conversations with men like this. I love that you guys are so like anti-lust.
No, so you have to work against it because our entire society is sexualized.
And you know, I'm going to tell you something too. It's like I also, it's hard for me to say anti-lust for myself because that would be me, you know, lying that I don't, you know, think about it or that it's not something that goes through my mind. I just think I'm more like, I would rather be realistic about it and accept that it could also be it could be a flaw, you know, and just accept that it could be a flaw, and you could either use it as a, you know, you could use it as a flaw and then it could be your weakness, or you can embrace it. And I think it's part of humanity. I think is the animals that we are, because, you know, we're human beings and we have feelings and a lot of things that run through us. So yeah, it's
moderation, right? I think anything, you know, that you do it's got to be done in moderation. So but I love how the married guys are like, no, we're not lusty no more.
No. It's that we make a conscious effort to move away.
I would rather make a conscious decision. You know, this is something that I've applied in my life even before, you know, honestly, before my marriage. You know, we met, and then we wasn't too long after we met that we were, you know, physical with each other. Like, damn, this is not the intention that I want my relationships to be based off of.
So about like having sex too soon, do you find that is like a really big deal for men? Because like clearly like you're having sex because you both decided to have sex. Let's say it's the first night. You both wanted it in that moment. You really feel like it makes you look at a woman a different way?
Because of the way that our society is, I would say, over-sexualized. Like, men are over-sexualized. We're taught that we're less than if we don't conquer lots of women and, you know, goofy bullshit like that. Women are looked at as whores for doing the exact same shit that we do, and neither can happen without the other. So I think, obviously, there's a flaw in a certain aspect of our culture and the way that we view and deem a lot of these things. At the same time, that is the culture, and the culture is an oxymoron, because I do think a lot of guys at the same time will judge women based on these things.
Okay, for Edwin or I.
You know, when I was younger, I placed a high value on, you know, just the actual act of sex, right? So it was like, if you got it too quick, you know, in my younger years, I thought it was like, all right, this girl is easy, right? So it's like, that's not somebody that I would consider, you know, having a long-term relationship with. You know, like you said, it takes two to tango, right? So it's like we both make those decisions. If we were in that moment and we both felt like that, then that should not change the way I feel about somebody just because we perform that act, right?
Right.
Yeah.
I personally think that, you know, like Edwin said, it should be timed, and it should, you know, you should get to know somebody first. And, you know, I might sound like a lame saying all that shit, but like, for me personally, I like to really get to know somebody because it's an energy exchange, right? It's like the moment you enter into that, you're exchanging not only, you know, physical DNA, but it's like you're also
definitely a
lot of energy,
right?
And but you take on what that person gives off. So it's like, you really want to know who you're dealing with. Personally, in my belief, I want to know who I'm dealing with sort of before I go and, you know, actually exchange those.
So like the energy exchange, because it's also a release. It's this energy release. So what happens is my thoughts do change after sex.
As far as, what do you mean by that?
It's well, because there's this excitement that leads to it, right? The chase, and then once, you know, that's complete, right?
I've heard it referred to as post-nut clarity.
I mean, that's some real shit, you know?
Wow, guys, I love this so much because, like, I have so many questions. Okay, tell me about your post-nut clarity.
So it's this thought process where it's like, okay, wait, is this really what I wanted? Is this what I was looking for? You know, because
depending on the situation, you might feel ashamed.
Absolutely. Especially,
it's kind of like when you masturbate, right? Like,
well, I mean, there you go. There you go.
Like,
there you go.
Dirty bastard.
Oh, there you go. What's wrong with me? I'm sick.
I've had hookups, so it does make me think about like what the hell men are thinking in their post-nut clarity. But
I think you should though. You know what? I think that's a great thing to think about, Diamond, because now it also you put yourself in a different position. I think you have more leverage.
She can frame her questions better, knowing that.
Absolutely.
Knowing where his brain is.
I run into the issue where like, if I do try to play the role of, you know, I want to get to know you, a lot of times it's like, okay, well, not me. Like, that's not what I'm looking for.
Right.
You know?
Right.
So it's,
Girl ready to go way quicker. Right. So
exactly.
And you, Diamond, you have a lot of power. You know
okay, but see, pause. You sound like you might have given her at least the time of day. You actually got to witness whatever you were attracted to in her, right? Like, let's say you were like, wow, she's really like doing her thing. She's focusing on herself. Men don't always pay that much attention to the woman. Like,
right.
It's like,
it can go vice versa too, though. You know, like
it can.
I know in you know, my dating pool right now, it's like, I know exactly what you're talking about, right? It's like, it's usually, you know, I know with you, it's like guys are looking for a certain thing, right?
Yeah.
Being able to have that conversation and just be like, hey, you know, this is where I'm at with it. A lot of times, you know, it might leave you vulnerable and be like, all right, you know, somebody could shut you down and it could feel like shit. But at the same time, it's like, I value my time more than you know, I'm not that egotistical either. So it's like, I'd rather go up front and just be like, hey, you know, if this is somebody I see potentially, like, you know, I could build with, be open and honest. You know, maybe I'm not looking for that first night fuck or whatever. You know, I'd rather get to know you. And if you're in the same boat as me, then we can go.
I think it's very important to have options and to, you know, I'm not saying have options as in I'm dating all these people and then I'm going to like pick it, but be open to the thought process that I want to meet people. I've witnessed, you know, I've been blessed to witness manifestation, you know, but it takes a conscious decision, you know, and like, and Diamond, you need to tell yourself, and I think we all need to tell ourselves, what do I want?
Right.
And do I know what I want?
A lot of what you're saying is really interesting because more so than anything else, it takes into the account the amount of self-reflection that has to occur in order to, one, know what you want, two, what you want out of your partner, and then to, you know, like Diamond's original point, if you guys do decide to just hook up, that's what me and my wife were doing originally, and we're married with a baby now. I don't know, you know, like, so it's almost like, how do you, you know, tell a woman you shouldn't just hook up, even though you feel like you want to. This could be the one. It might grow into something, but then at the same time, it might not be shit. Might crack and never talk to you again.
We have the constant anxiety of like, I might have just fucked that up because that might be his mindset, and now he'll never ever look at me and take me seriously.
You know, that's self-fulfilling prophecy. So you just told yourself, so you did something. So once you did that, you're going to do something that is going to make him not take you seriously.
Because that's what I believe.
Exactly.
You put it into
you did it. You already did it. Like you already did it. You already proved that for yourself.
But you know what, that point of like introspection too, it's like when you are an introspective person, right? And like, you know, in our age group or in our dating pools, a lot of people you meet are not down that journey yet, you know? So it's almost like you're cutting down your pool a lot by being that way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And to me, that's a good thing, right? Because it's just, you're taking out the bad weeds, right? It's like you're eventually going to stumble upon that person, I believe, you know, that is along the same mindset as you or on that same path or journey as you.
Damn. I like where this went today, honestly, guys.
And we're out here giving knowledge. But go check out our last few episodes. We just dropped another episode yesterday about the Ghislaine Maxwell documents. I very much appreciate you guys doing this. We do got another episode of Real Talk Chicago to record. Edwin, if you're coming down, let me know. If not, I'm going to make it rock. Diamond, it's always love every time we speak. You know, can't wait till next time.
Always. Yeah. It really is awesome.
I love talking to you guys, and it was a pleasure.
Ditto.
All right.
Bye.
Bye, buddy.